sports, because your news team matters.
Well, if a man who was stumbling drunk asked permission to take your 8-year-old child for a ride in the car, would you let him? I mean, really? It's hard to imagine anyone saying yes.
Yet, a Fox 6 investigation finds that hundreds of moms and dads in the Milwaukee area are basically doing something every bit as dangerous. Here now is Fox 6 investigator Brian Polson.
That's right, Brad and Ann. No mother in her right mind would strap her child into the back seat of a drunk driver's car, right? Well, maybe not somebody else's car, but we found hundreds of parents are getting plowed, then getting behind the wheel with their own precious cargo along for the ride. This deputy sheriff is about to make the first drunk driving arrest of her career, and it's a doozy. She's chasing after a Jeep Cherokee that flew past her moments earlier while weaving in and out of traffic.
I had to get up to 100 to even catch him.
After a 90-second pursuit, the driver pulls over, and inside the Jeep, an alarming discovery. An empty six-pack of Mike's Hard Lemonade, 2 cans of Mike's Hard Grape Punch, 6 empty bottles of vodka, and
He is such a good boy.
a 9-month-old baby. Toby Patterson is about to fail his field sobriety test while off camera, that female deputy keeps an eye on his infant son.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toes.
He denies drinking while driving, but admits that he pulled over at one point to feed his baby a bottle while he polished off a bottle of vodka.
Then he has the nerve to say to me, I'm just worried about my son. What a jackrabbit.
But Patterson is hardly alone.
You think your son's in that car? Yeah, my son in that car.
Dwayne Williams took his 11-year-old son fishing.
You went on the side here, bud.
Then drove home drunk.
Whatever, man. I get blowing on you.
Armando Valdivia's been busted for drunk driving 4 times.
1,000 to 1,000.
This time his daughter was sleeping
I don't even know the numbers.
under a blanket in the back seat.
Who's gonna be taking care of my kid? Huh? She's only 4 years old.
Keep on.
John Krushak got behind the wheel with his 4-year-old daughter in the car,
Like I said, I had a few beers.
even though a sober adult was sitting in the passenger seat.
No, you just had one.
None of these drivers wanted to talk to Fox 6 News, but Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark was happy to talk about them.
You are neglecting your role as a parent or guardian for the well-being of these kids.
Clark says the average age of the kids they find in a drunk driver's car is 7 years, 9 months.
An 8-year-old can't say, hey, mom, hey, babysitter, you know, you're not going to take me because you're drunk. They're going to say, get in the car, and the kid's going to get in the car.
And our investigation finds someone gets busted about once every 3 days in southeastern Wisconsin. Since the beginning of 2011, at least 239 drivers in the greater Milwaukee area have been criminally charged for operating while intoxicated with a child under 16 in the car, like Ricky Joe Taylor.
Driving drunk at noon with your 8-month-old, with any 8-month-old kid in the car, pretty much means you've lost all perspective.
According to data compiled by the state, 75% of all drunk drivers in Wisconsin are men. But our investigation finds that nearly half of those charged with having kids in the car are women.
State of Wisconsin versus Shelley Butler.
Like Greenfield mom Shelley Butler, who was arrested in July for driving drunk with 6 kids crammed into a Honda Accord, 5 in the back seat, 2 of them laying on the floor.
I made a tragic mistake.
Akira Kirk rolled her 9-passenger SUV in the Marquette interchange with 11 kids piled inside.
It's a miracle nobody was killed.
Then there's Evelyn Brown.
She was weaving,
going in and out of lanes,
crossed 2 lanes,
cutting in between cars.
She jumped the curb, went into the grass.
Witnesses say Brown was so drunk.
What is this lady doing?
She parked her car in the middle of Highway 41.
She looked like she was out of it, like completely incoherent out of it.
Not get out, not just point blank say, what the hell is you doing?
Patrick Smith saw an 11-month-old girl in the back seat.
This baby is about to die. I have to do something to save a life.
So he climbed into the car, pulled it off the freeway, and called police.
I don't want nobody's child to get taken away from them. but do you deserve a child?
Evelyn Brown's BAC was 3.5 times the legal limit for a first-time offender and nearly 15 times the limit for a repeat offender.
I hereby find you guilty as a nine-time offender.
That's right, this was Brown's 9th drunk driving conviction, including one for negligent homicide in 1999 when she was just 16.
Wow.
But for most parents caught driving their kids around drunk, it's the first offense.
Never been arrested for drunk driving before?
No, ma'am.
In your whole life?
In my whole life.
Okay.
I swear.
Wisconsin is the only state in America where the first offense is not a crime, unless...
Having a kid on board changes everything. Yeah, I know.
2 years ago, state lawmakers passed a bill making drunk driving with a minor in the car an automatic misdemeanor, punishable by up to 6 months in jail. So far, we've found the average sentence appears to be about 30 days. And Sheriff Clark wants more.
And that's why when we make these arrests, we go for charges beyond the drunk driving offenses with a kid in the car. We'll go for recklessly endangering safety, because that's what you've done with these kids.
I have been through, a lot.
After flipping her Dodge Durango with 11 kids packed inside, Akira Kirk was charged with 3 felony counts of endangering their safety. She was sentenced to 9 months in jail.
She was looking at 20 years. She got 9 months. You call that punishment? I don't.
What's more, the judge allows Kirk to be released from jail every day, day after day, to go home and care for the very children she nearly killed.
Huber released for child care. Are you kidding me? I don't want this woman anywhere near children.
Hello? We tried to talk to Kirk at her Southside home.
Could I speak to Akira, please?
But she never answered the door.
She needs 9 months without Huber to sit and think about what she did.
3-1,000, 4-1,000.
Randy Holmes was thinking out loud as he sat in the back of a squad car.
I'm in trouble. My car impounded. Might lose my license. Going to jail. All for what?
Now that's a drunk driver with a sobering thought. In 2009, the state of New York passed Leandra's Law, named for an 11-year-old girl killed when another child's parent drove her home drunk from a slumber party and crashed. Leandra's Law makes drunk driving an automatic felony on the first offense if there's a child under 16 in the car. It also requires police there to report the incident to the New York State office that tracks child abuse. Mothers Against Drunk Driving is now holding that out as a national model for child endangerment laws related to drunk driving.
That's the New York law. You say
Right.
it's one of the tougher laws. It's a felony there.
Yeah.
Here, it's a misdemeanor, you say. How do we compare to other states?
Well, certainly it's a misdemeanor now. It used to be less. 41 states, well, in 2010, we became, in fact, the 41st state to offer enhanced penalties if there's a child in the car. 9 other states have no such law, but those 9 states already consider drunk driving a crime on the first offense. So really, in the grand scheme of things, we're still on the weaker end of drunk driving laws in general and with this one.
This is a jaw-dropping story of yours. Thank you.
You got it. Thanks.
Brian, for that.
Well, what, forget what you've been told?
Big news about breast cancer screening. A revealing new study looking at 30 years of mammograms and a very surprising discovery.
And next, inside the governor's mansion. Most people won't get to see it until Sunday, but we're taking you inside tonight. You're going to see the tree that's shaped like a what?
And tonight, the Powerball jackpot, $250 million. Good luck.